Happy Memorial Day. Memorial Day is like our unofficial beginning of summer, and it's certainly starting to feel like summer yesterday and today. We're getting that warm weather finally. Had quite a cool spring so far, mostly, but not today, and yesterday heated up a little bit. That's good, I guess. Well, I'll start out with our national anthem. And the national anthem, I think we all know it, so it'd be great if you'd sing along. This became our national anthem in 1931. And I think we all know the story of the poem, The Defense of the Fort McHenry during the War of 1812. One of the interesting facts about this song is, of course, the poet was Francis Scott Key, and wrote this in 1814 when he, after I guess he woke up in the morning and saw the flag. It's a huge flag. We saw it at the Smithsonian. It's 30 feet by 42 feet, so it's not a flag you're going to miss. And it had 15 stars and 15 stripes back then. That's an interesting thing that I didn't know until I went and looked at it earlier this year before the corona, when we could still go around. And one more interesting thing about this song, the music is actually a British composer, John Stafford Smith. It's interesting that our national anthem, which was inspired during the War of 1812 with the British, that we would have a British person that would write the music for it. I guess in more inclusive times than we have these days. Okay. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Yeah, the Star-Spangled Banner. Interesting story about that one, eh? So maybe I'll introduce Memorial Day a little bit historically. So it traces back to the Civil War. So back in the 1860s, right? So in the South, in 1866, right after the war, some women from Columbus, Mississippi, laid flowers on the graves of both the Union and the Confederates dead in the city's Friendship Cemetery. That was supposed to be the first Decoration Day, they called it. And then a few years later, there's a General John Logan, and he issued a proclamation calling it Decoration Day. Now, he was to be observed annually nationwide. And he was the commander-in-chief of the Grand Army of the Republic, or the GAR. I don't know if this organization still exists, but it was an organization of and for the Union Civil War veterans. And then General James Garfield made a speech in Arlington, and there were 5,000 participants, decorated the graves of 20,000 Union and Confederate soldiers buried there. That was in 1868, sorry. And so it sort of morphed from Decoration Day to Memorial Day after World War II. And it was officially declared Memorial Day by federal law in 1967. So, though Memorial Day is a day of remembrance for those who died for our freedom, today we celebrate with patriotic songs, American songs, and songs about loss and comfort. So I start out with, I call them the military fight songs, and they're sort of, like when you go to college, you have a fight song, right? And these are the songs that each of the branch of the military has to sort of rally themselves. And this one is for the Air Force. It's called the U.S. Air Force. The song is the official Air Force song. It was written by Captain Robert Crawford in 1947. And yesterday, Carol Lipson mentioned that her father had been in World War II and was actually shot down. And so when she was a kid, they sang this song a lot. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here we come, zooming to meet our thunder. Had 'em boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flame. Nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. I think that's a really nice one. I like that one. Now, the Army Goes Rolling Along, it used to be called the K-Sounds Go Rolling Along, but it became the Army Goes Rolling Along in 1956. So K-Sounds, I think they were some sort of military equipment. I don't know. I guess that's probably why they had to change the words. So this is, initially it was written in 1908 by Edmund Gruber, but then it got updated, like I said. So I'll do a couple of the verses from this one. First to fight for the right and to build the nation might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done till the battle's been won, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way. Count off your cadence loud and strong, for where'er you go, you will always know, and the army goes rolling along. Valley Forge, Custer's ranks on one hill, and Patton's tanks, and the army goes rolling along. Minutemen from the start, always fighting from the heart, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way. Count off your cadence loud and strong, for where'er you go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. Oh, and yes, and I was going to mention about the army. I talked about this yesterday when I did some of this yesterday too, some of these songs. So my grandfather, Cedric Kyler Ridgway, was in World War I. He was in the 331st Field Artillery. They have this big book. It's pretty heavy. I'll hold it up here. And this is for this particular branch of the Army. It was apparently it was just sort of drafted up for the war because they needed more troops, and then I think it was done. So between 1917 and 1919, quite a few. And my grandfather was, so these are some pins that I also found. I'll hold one of these. This one says 331 HQ, and this one says US 3331. Let's see if I can hold them up. Oh, I gotta let go of my guitar. Hold on. These are kind of cool. Yeah, and then one more even cooler thing are his dog tags. So I got them here. These are like handmade, you know, they have like a number on one side, which would have been his military number, I suppose. It looks like 7 digits. I thought I said 6 yesterday. It looks like 7 digits. And then on the other side is their name and USA. So I'll just show you. It looks like something like when I was in shop in 7th grade, we used to metal work things and pound shapes into metal. So let me get up closer so I can see if I can see it. There, I finally got it. Cedric Ridgway. All right, so next is Anchors Away, and before I do that one, I'll just give a couple things about that. My next door neighbor, who died earlier this year, and he was staying at an American house in Ypsilanti that I used to play at, and last year I did this show. And he had been in the Navy, and he had been in World War I and the Korean War, or Korean conflict, I guess they call it. And he ferried troops back and forth across the ocean like 30 times, something like that. And he took this picture of Hiroshima in February of 1946, and the bomb was August of 1945. So you can see that it was a real mess. It's he just took a series of snapshots and taped them together and then took a copy of it and then made it and then gave it to me. And of course, I lived in Hiroshima twice, once in 99 to 2000, and then again in 2008 to 2010. And they have they have Peace Park in the middle of town. So, you know, the A-bomb ended the war, so it was a good thing from that perspective. It was a bad thing for all the people that were living in Hiroshima. It wasn't much of a military town, but so this is what's called the A-bomb dome. And it still stands. This is a picture of it back in the day after the bomb, and you can see it's pretty well decimated. This is still standing today. I've got some pictures of it. I don't have them. Couldn't find them right away. And this is what the building looked like before, so you can kind of see it was quite a big building. But a lot of Hiroshima was wood, so that it was just sort of decimated like this. You can hear some people walking down the street after the bombing, and you can just see what a mess everything is. All right, enough of that. That's my neighbor's Navy story. Then there's my dad's Navy story. This flag behind me, 48 stars, which was the number of stars back in during World War II. My dad was a lieutenant, and he was on a landing ship tank that was ferrying people across to the supplies across during the D-Day invasion, so it's back and forth. And that flag was the flag that flew on that ship. Here's my dad's Navy hat. He was, like I said, a lieutenant. And that flag, there's a couple of these flags behind me. Those are signal flags they would use on the ships to, I don't know what they, somehow send codes to each other. So with that, go into Anchors Away. This is a song of the U.S. Navy. It was written in 1906. Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to foreign shores, we sail the break of day through our last night on shore. Drink to the foam until we meet once more. We're wishing you a happy voyage home. then, of course, there's the Marines. They got it, the Halls of Montezuma song, the Marines hymn. This goes back, the music is 1867, and the words are 1917. The words were called A Poem from Rhymes of the Rookies. Interesting. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the land, on inland and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Our flags unfurled to every breeze, from dawn to setting sun. We have fought in every clime and place where we could take a gun. In the snow of far-off northern lands, and in sunny tropic scenes, you will find us always on the job, the United States Marine. Here's to health and youth, and to the corps which we are proud to serve. And in many a strife we fought for life, and never lost our nerve. If the Army and the Navy ever look on heaven's scenes, they will find the streets are guarded by the United States Marines. I always like that last line about, a little bit of a rivalry between the different branches of the service. This song is from Civil War, a Union song called When Johnny Comes Marching Home. This was written by Patrick Gilmore in 1863. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer and the boys will shout, the ladies, they will all turn out, we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The old church bell will peal with joy, hurrah, hurrah, we'll welcome home our darling boy, hurrah, hurrah. The village lads and lassies say, and roses they will strew their way, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. For the Jubilee, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give the hero 3 times 3, hurrah, hurrah. The laurel wreath is ready now to place upon his loyal brow, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Let love and friendship on that day, hurrah, hurrah, their choicest pleasure then display, hurrah, hurrah. And let each one perform some part to fill the joy, the swell warrior's heart, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. When Johnny comes marching home. Well, then there's always my favorite of the patriotic songs, America the Beautiful, from 1910. A poem, it's made from a poem called Poem for the 4th of July, Pikes Peak, in 1895. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet who stern impassioned stress, a thoroughfare of freedom beats across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw, confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more themselves their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Okay, I'm going to move into, we'll call these more the folk and country songs. This one, and they refer to, there's somebody writing a song about a particular war or a particular time. This one was a poem that was written, found in a hospital in Philippines during World War II. So the poem was written during World War II, was found, and it was just sort of lost. And then it was somehow John Gorka, who's a folk singer, got a hold of this in 2001 and made a song out of it. It's called Let Them In, Peter. It's like you're at Heaven's Gate, Peter, is there. And let them in, Peter. They are very tired. Give them couches where the angels sleep, and light those fires. Let them wake whole again to brand new dawns, fired with the sun, not wartime's bloody guns. May their peace be deep. Remember where the broken bodies lie. God knows how young they were to have to die. God knows how young they were to have to die. Give them things they like, let them make some noise. Give roadhouse bands, not golden harps, to these our boys, and let them love Peter. 'cause they've had no time. They should have trees, bird songs, and hills to climb, a taste of summer in her ripened pear, and girls sweet as meadow wind with flowing hair. Tell them how they are missed, and say not to fear, it's gonna be alright with us down here. Let them in, Peter. Let them in, Peter. Let them in, Peter. Yeah, let them in. So this one's more Vietnam era. Vietnam was a really trying war for our country. There was a bunch of people protesting the war because they didn't believe in it. And then there's, of course, the soldiers that were dying. And whether or not they believed in it didn't really matter. Sad, sad state of affairs. But I think now that's hopefully come full circle. So Bruce Robson wrote this in 1996 called Traveling Soldiers. 2 days past 18, he was waiting for the bus in his army greens. Sat down in a booth in a cafe there, gave his order to the girl with a bow in her hair. He's a little shy, so she gave him a smile, and he said, would you mind sitting down for a while? Talking to me, I feel a little low. She said, I'm off in an hour and I know where we can go. So they went down and they sat on a pier, and he said, I bet you got a boyfriend, but I don't care. I got no one to send a letter to. Would you mind if I send one back here to you? I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy. Too young for him, they told her, waiting for the love of the traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again. Never more to be alone when the letter says the soldier's coming home. Well, the letters came from an army camp in California and then Vietnam. Told her of his heart, how it might be loved, and all the things he was so scared of. He said, when it's getting kind of rough over here, I think about the day sitting down at the pier, and I close my eyes, see a pretty smile. Don't worry, but I won't be able to write for a while. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy. Too young for him, they told her, for the love of the traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again. Never more to be alone when the letter says the soldier's coming home. Friday night at a football game. Lord's Prayer said and the anthem sang. A man said, folks, would you bow your heads for a list of a local Vietnam men? Crying all alone under the stands, piccolo player in the marching band, and one named Red. No one really cared but the pretty little girl with a bow in her hair. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy. Too young for him, they told her, waiting for the love of the traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again. Never more to be alone when the letter says the soldier's coming. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy. Too young for him, they told her, waiting for the love of the traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again. Never more to be alone. The letter says the soldier's coming home. All right, now this one, that was Vietnam, and this one's back to World War II. This one was written, there was two guys, Red Stewart and Ernie Tubb. So Red started to write this song when he was stationed in the South Pacific in 1941, and Ernie Tubb finished the song and recorded it in 1944. It was also sung by George Jones and Merle Haggard and the Strangers. So this one's called Soldier's Last Letter. Country. I think country has definitely got these emotional wartime songs down. That's the genre of. I'm writing this down in a trench mound. Don't scold if it isn't so neat, the way that you did when I was a kid and I'd come home with mud on my feet. The captain just gave us our orders, and Mom, we will carry them through. And I'll finish this letter the first chance I get, but for now I'll just say I love you. Then the mother's old hands began to tremble as she fought against tears in her eyes. But they came unashamed, 'cause there was no name, and she knew that her soldier had died. That night as she knelt by her bedside, prayed, Lord above, hear my plea. the sons and daughters that are fighting tonight. And dear God, keep America free. I'm writing this down in a trench, Mom. Don't scold if it isn't so neat, the way that you did when I was a kid, and I come home with mud on my feet. And this one was written in 2007, so I think this one's probably more Gulf War, Afghanistan time period. It's called If You're Reading This by Tim McGraw. He wrote it with Brad Warren and Brett Warren. He just did it live at some sort of... If you're reading this, and my mama's sitting there, looks like I only got a one-way ticket over here. I sure wish I could give you just one more kiss. War was just a game we played when we were kids. Well, I'm laying down my gun, hanging up my boots. I'm up here with God, and we're watching over you. So lay me down in that open field out on the edge of town. No, my soul is where my mama always prayed that it would go. If you're reading this, I'm already home. If you're reading this, halfway around the world, won't be there to see the birth of our little girl. I hope she looks like you. I hope she fights like me and stands up for the innocent and the weak. I'm laying down my gun, hanging up my boots. Tell Dad I don't regret that I followed in his shoes. So lay me down in that open field out on the edge of town. And oh, my soul is where my mama always thought, pray that it would go. If you're reading this, I'm already home. If you're reading this, there's gonna come a day when you'll move on and find someone else, and that's okay. Just remember this: I'm in a better place where soldiers live in peace and angels sing amazing grace. So lay if you're reading this, I'm already home. And this one is Vince Gill. In 1995, wrote this one. It's called Go Rest High on That Mountain. Troubled, and only you could know the pain. You weren't afraid to face the devil. You're no stranger to the rain. Go rest high, son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a-shouting, love for the Father and the Son. Oh, how we cried the day you left us. We gathered round your grave to grieve. Wish I could see the angels' faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. Go rest high on that mountain, son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a-shouting, love for the Father and the Son. Go rest high on that mountain, son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a-shouting, love for the Father and the Son. Go to heaven a-shouting, love for the Father and the Son. So this song is a Irish song. It's the anthem of Northern Ireland, but it is a message for a parent for a son going off to war. It's called Danny Boy. Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone, and all the roses falling. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow, and I'll be here in sunshine or in shadows. Oh Danny boy, I love you so. But if he come and all the roses dying, and I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I shall hear those soft you tread above me, and on my grave will warmer, sweeter be, and you will bend and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace till you come to me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me. Well, we're kind of, where are we at here? 10 minutes, let's see. Well, I thought this is, whenever I think of Memorial Day, I always think about baseball. And we don't have baseball this year. Well, we can, maybe we'll have it in the second half. I've heard it's, they're talking. We'll see if they can work it out. But this is the old Take Me Out to the Ball Game, which was a Tin Pan Alley song from 1908. Out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for the Tigers. If they don't win, it's the same, not a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. And it's not a shame, it's the same. I'm just kidding. Well, I was going to do like a kind of a, oh, this would be a good one. So, when I think of America, here we are, America, I think about a song from 1972 called American Pie. So, I'll sing that one. A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I knew that if I had my chance, that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take one more step, And I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride. But something touched me deep inside the day the music died. So bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys was drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of love, and do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so. Now do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenage bronkin' buck with a pink carnation in a pickup truck. But I knew that I was out of luck the day the music died. Started singing, bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys was drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. 10 years we've been on our own, and moss grows fat on a rolling stone. But that's not how it used to be. Well, the jesters sang for the king and queen in a coat he'd borrowed from James Dean, in a voice that came from you and me. Oh, and while the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom was adjourned. No verdict was returned. And while Lenin read a book on Marx, the quartet practiced in the park, and we sang dirges in the dark the day the music died. We were singing, bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Helter-skelter in a summer swelter, the birds flew off in a fallout shelter, 8 miles high and falling fast. It landed fall on the grass, and the players tried for a forward pass. The jester in the sideline in a cast. Now the halftime mirror was sweet perfume. The sergeants played a marching tune, and we all got up to dance. Oh, but we never got the chance, 'cause the players tried to take the field. The marching band refused to yield. Do you recall what was revealed the day the music died? And we were singing, bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. And there we were all in one place, a generation lost in space, with no time left to start again. So come on, Jack, be nimble, Jack, be quick. Jack Flash sat on a candlestick, and fire is the devil's only friend. Oh, and as I watched them on the stage, my hands were clenched in fists of rage. No angel born in hell could break that Satan's spell. And as the flames climbed high into the night, till light the sacrificial rite. I saw Satan laughing with delight the day the music died. And we were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this will be the day that I die. This will be the day that I die. I met a girl who sang the blues, and I asked her for some happy news. She just smiled and turned away. And I went down to the sacred store where I'd heard the music years before, but the man there said the music wouldn't play. In the streets the children screamed, the lovers cried, and the poets dreamed, but not a word was spoken. Church bells all were broken, and the three men I admire most, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, they caught the last train for the coast the day the music died. And they were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys was drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this will be the day that I die. This will be the day that I die. And they were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this will be the day that I die. Anyway, I see a couple of comments up here. It's cute. One, Chad Sanders says he likes hearing the military standards in a folk style, and now he wants to hear Peter Paul Mary with a concert band as backup. Or maybe Simon Garfunkel. That sounds fun. And then Julia says Mike is praying for baseball to return. Yeah, I know. I heard one of the I guess the league is offering like half pay for half season, but a lot of the players want full pay. It's kind of like, oh well, let's see how that one works out. And I just noticed I have my old guitar here. This is the one that I learned with. This is a 1937. This is the oldest thing that I have, I think. 1937 F-hole Martin guitar, mahogany. I just have it there. It's fun. It's not the best sounding instrument. It's kind of classic. It's not worth a lot, but it's good. I think I'm going to do two more songs and kind of to end with the theme. You know, the American Pie gets. You know, why do we have Memorial Day? Because we have a wonderful country, and a song like American Pie celebrates the wonderfulness of our country. And this is a song by Irving Berlin in 1918 called God Bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. America, my own sweet home. God bless America, my own sweet home. my last song today for Memorial Day. I'm going to sing my version of Psalm 23. King David's famous verse, "The Lord is my shepherd," and in memory of all those that have given their lives for our country. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in right path for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Yes, my cup overflows. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Hey, I see Johnny's on there too. Hey, Johnny. Yeah, best to you too. Just one more thing I was going to point out that's on my shelf. We've been looking through old pictures and stuff, and Peggy found this one. Julie will like this if she's still there. Back when Julie was teaching right when she first started teaching at Rochester High, we sang at her, oh gosh, it's just going to get glary. There it goes. We sang at her high school, I don't know, talent show or something. And there we are, back, that has to be, 12, I don't know, Julie knows how many years ago. Put it up there, Julia. Right when she started teaching, probably 12 years ago. I have no idea. Anyway, I hope you all have a great Memorial Day. Celebrate, find peace. It's the beginning of summer officially, and it's going to be strange when we're learning how to live in a new way. It's okay. Learning to live new things, learning is good. We will learn and we will be better. We'll be stronger. It's going to be okay. I hope you all have a great time today. Take care.